Buying a car in 2026 feels like playing Russian roulette with a $1,200 monthly payment. We're in an era where luxury often means beta tester, and innovation is just a fancy word for it works 60% of the time. Consumer Reports just dropped their 2026 reliability data, and it is a bloodbath. We aren't just talking about minor trim rattles. We're talking about catastrophic failures that happen before your second oil change. Today, we're going deep beyond the specs to show you the 17 cars that are currently the biggest financial traps on the market. These are the vehicles that no one is buying for a reason, and if you have one in your driveway, you might want to keep your towing company on speed dial. Let's break down the nightmares. Chevrolet Blazer. Chevy tried to make a statement with the Blazer EV, but the statement ended up being, "I should have bought a gas car." Imagine you're merging onto a busy highway, and suddenly your entire dashboard goes pitch black. The speedometer gone. The turn signals silent. You're flying blind in a 5,000-pound electric brick. It's a software disaster. The Ultium platform is suffering from communication errors between the battery and the motor. It's like a computer where the mouse and the keyboard are constantly getting into a divorce. Lincoln Aviator. This car is basically a $70,000 massage chair that occasionally moves. You sit in those 30-way power seats, feeling like a king, until you realize the check engine light is flickering in sync with your heartbeat. You take it to the dealer, and they tell you they need to order a module from Germany that's back-ordered for 3 months. The electronics are too smart for their own good. From the soft closed doors failing to the air, suspension sagging until the car looks like a stanced Civic. It's a mechanical headache wrapped in beautiful leather. Mazda CX-90 PHEV. This is the heartbreak of 2026. Mazda is the brand we trust, but they bit off more than they could chew with this hybrid. You pull out of your driveway in EV mode, feeling eco-friendly, and then bang! The gas engine kicks in with a sound like a bag of hammers falling down a flight of stairs. Then the car loses power and puts you into limp mode while you're trying to pick up the kids. The transition between the electric motor and the gas engine is clunky and prone to synchronization errors. It's Mazda's first big hybrid, and unfortunately, the customers are the ones doing the testing. Rivian R1T. It's the coolest truck at the trailhead, but it's the most frustrating one in the shop. You love the 0 to 60 speed, but you hate the chirping noise from the suspension that sounds like a cricket is trapped in your wheel well. Then you find out a simple alignment takes 6 weeks because only one service center in a 3-state radius can handle it. Rivian is still learning how to build cars at scale. They've had recalls for insufficiently torqued steering bolts. In plain English, your steering wheel could literally stop talking to your wheels. Not ideal. Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, the only minivan on the list. And for good reason. It's the green machine that spends too much time in the red zone. You bought this to save money on gas for the school run. Instead, you're spending that money on Ubers because the high-voltage battery decided it didn't want to charge today. Fire risks and transmission stalls. Chrysler has struggled to get the electrical handshake right between the battery and the wheels. It's a rolling living room that occasionally forgets it's a car. GMC Acadia. If you want to know what it feels like to own a car that's all hat and no cattle, buy an Acadia. It looks rugged and tough, like it could climb a mountain. But then you're idling at a red light and you feel a shudder that makes your coffee spill. That's your transmission wondering if it should stay in gear or go on vacation. GMC's new 4-cylinder turbo engines are being pushed too hard. Owners are reporting total engine failures at ridiculously low mileages. We're talking under 10,000 miles. Ford F-150. Lightning Ford's electric truck is a beast, but it has trust issues. You try to open the front trunk to put your groceries in, and it just won't. You're standing in the rain, clicking your key fob like a madman, while your $80,000 truck ignores you. Beyond the software, the battery cooling systems have been prone to leaks. If the battery gets too hot or too cold, it panics and limits your power, turning your lightning into a light breeze. Ram 1500, Hurricane Roar 6. The Hemi Fiv 8 is dead, and the Hurricane is here to replace it. But the forecast is looking cloudy. You miss that V8 rumble, but you're told this high-tech inline 6 is better, Then you notice a whistling sound under acceleration. That's your turbocharger slowly giving up on life. Twin turbos add heat and pressure. 2026 data shows these engines are prone to heat soak and early manifold cracks. It's a lot of power in a very fragile package. Jeep Wrangler 4xe. It's the best-selling hybrid in the US, which just means there are more people waiting for tow trucks than ever before. You're crawling over rocks in silence on electric power, feeling like a genius. Then, the car beeps. The screen says electric mode unavailable, and the gas engine screams to life at 4,000 RPMs for no reason. The death wobble is still a thing on Wranglers, but now you've added 500 pounds of batteries and a complex wiring harness that hates getting wet. It's a rugged car that's afraid of a car wash. Range Rover Sport, the car for people who want to look rich while their bank account bleeds out from repair bills. You pull up to the valet, and the car looks incredible. You go to leave, and the air suspension has leaked, so the car is squatting on its tires like a lowrider from the 90s. Land Rover uses the most complex electronics in the world, and they're built with the reliability of a cheap toaster. When one sensor fails, it takes the whole car down with it. Nissan Frontier. The Frontier is the truck that refuses to grow up, but it's finally starting to feel the aches and pains of old age. The steering feels heavy, the interior is basic, and you realize you're paying 2026 prices for 2015 technology. Then the transmission starts hunting for gears on the highway, making the whole truck vibrate like a vibrating chair. Nissan's 9-speed automatic has had a rough launch. It's prone to hard shifts that feel like you've been rear-ended. Volkswagen Jetta, German-engineered sedan that feels like it was engineered on a Friday afternoon before a holiday. You close the door, and it sounds hollow. You turn on the radio, and the speakers rattle the plastic door panels. It feels like a car that was built to last exactly 36 months and 1 day. VW used cheaper materials in the latest Jetta, and it shows. The electrical sensors are notorious for ghost warnings, telling you your tire is flat when it's perfectly fine. Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, the luxury Jeep that has a sleeping disorder. You park it at the airport for a 3-day trip. You come back, and the battery is so dead, the doors won't even unlock with the physical key. You're stranded in the parking garage at midnight because the car stayed awake and drained its own heart out. The car's many computers don't always go to sleep properly, leading to total battery failure. Genesis G EV 60, the car that looks like a pebble but acts like a headache. You love the crystal sphere shifter that flips over when you start the car, but one day it doesn't flip. You're stuck in park in your own driveway because your shifter is having a technical glitch. Battery preconditioning issues. In cold weather, these cars struggle to charge at the advertised speeds, leaving you stuck at a charging station for 2 hours instead of 20 minutes. Ford Bronco, the adventure vehicle that makes every highway trip feel like you're inside a wind tunnel. You're driving 70 miles per hour and you can't hear your own thoughts because the removable roof is whistling like a tea kettle. Then it starts raining and a single drop of water lands on your knee. Yep, it leaks. The Bronco was rushed to market, and the seals on the hardtop roofs are notoriously bad. Plus, the V6 engines have had valve-dropped issues that lead to a total engine rebuild. GMC Sierra 1500, the truck that's too smart for its own good. You're using Super Cruise, hands-free driving on the highway, feeling like the future is here. Suddenly, it beeps red, disengages, and you're swerving because the eye-tracking camera decided you weren't looking at the road, even though you were staring straight ahead. High-tech sensor failure. The cameras and radars are prone to fogging up or losing calibration, turning your expensive safety features into annoying beep generators. The Mitsubishi Mirage. I know. It's only $18,000, but $18,000 for a Mirage is like paying $50 for a stale ham sandwich. Every time you try to pass a slow-moving truck, you have to floor it, turn off the radio, and pray. The engine screams, the steering shakes, and you realize the truck is actually pulling away from you. You feel every single pebble in the road. It's not sporty suspension, It's just a lack of suspension. You get to your destination feeling like you've been inside a paint shaker for 45 minutes. It's a 78 horsepower engine in a 2026 world. It's unsafe, underpowered, and since it's being discontinued, you won't be able to trade it in for the price of a used bicycle in 3 years. Your money is too hard-earned to waste on a financial grenade. If you want to see the 5 cars that are actually over-engineered to last 300,000 miles, click the video on your screen right now. I'm here to make sure you love what you drive. Subscribe to iLuvCars and I'll see you in the next one.